Welcome back to Average Bro Show, you filthy degenerate scumbags. We got an absolute massive show for you guys today. The Dodgers are World Series champions. Let's go. We're going to recap the NFL Week 7, dabble into the Week 8 of NFL, and Joey's got us popping into the NCAA college football, what's going on here with coronavirus and everything that we got coming up this week. Let's go.
What's up, you filthy scumbags? Clayton Kershaw is a World Series champion. Let's go. 2020. Your Dodgers are the World Series champions for the first time since 1988, taking home their 7th World Championship. Let's go,
Count
boys.
it, baby. Count it.
Big year for the Los Angeles teams, huh? Let's go Lakers. Let's go Dodgers. Absolutely massive year. Did you guys see the fucking girl sitting on the top of her boyfriend's car and just eat absolute dog shit?
No idea.
They're doing like the burnouts, the city's burning behind it, and he fucking gasses it, and she's sitting on top and just falls off and fucking folded, knocked out. Alex, I know you saw that fucking video.
Cold. It just like hops on the video. You could just tell like her third eye is the only one that's open. And hops on top of the car, just a quick little jerk, and just folds like a tent on the ground, just whiplash.
PSA, she didn't fucking die or anything. We wouldn't talk about it if she fucking died.
Oh, so she's good. She's just a Dodger
She's
fan.
alive. She may be stupid as hell for like 3 days. She was knocked out. She woke up. She was like, the clown has no penis. Fucking step.
Her and Andy Dalton are on the same page right now.
She might be in the same hospital as him.
the brain trauma hospital, but fucking the Dodgers are World Series. This is like Alex's childhood dream. Absolute. Fucking leave Snell in. Let's start with that. Leave Snell in. The fucking
Idiots.
The one-eyed warrior Julio Urias absolutely throws another gem. What do you close out? Game 7 of last series and now Game 6 of this series.
Yep.
Wow. Absolutely massive.
He hits us with the good old save in Game 7, which was huge. Obviously, if you want to be honest, that series was really like kind of the one that I think probably gave the Dodgers that confidence that they needed. Like they even said it, like that was the first time they faced any kind of adversity the whole season. The first time they really got punched in the mouth. So coming back there really gave them the confidence, and we saw what they did in the World Series. They took care of business finally for the first time since the first time for the Dave Roberts era in 2016 and on. And
4 years coming right there.
Yep. So finally get on in there. Some pretty crazy games. Obviously, the one Game 4, whatever the fuck that shit was at the end there.
Garbage.
Like the Dodgers are really fortunate that one came. Didn't come back to bite them in the ass, because that would have been like the equivalent of your Bill Buckner play you've seen on the Red Sox. The behind the bag and get through Buckner.
Yeah.
So that would have been one of those. So.
And by the way, Alex is a huge fucking analytics guy. We just found this out before the potty. Alex, open your fucking eyes. Analytics does not work. The whole analytics thing is bullshit. Just if you have a fucking brain, use it. If you have eyes, use it. Start with Snell. Don't take him out of the fucking game.
We finally ran into a coach worse than Dave Roberts.
Yeah, Dave Roberts and fucking Kashmir or Kashma or Cash Dog or whatever the fuck his name is. They did the whole Spider-Man emoji thing. Like, huh? Is that you? You? I posted a fucking meme of Dave Roberts last night, and it was like Cashman throwing in, taking out Snell, and Dave Roberts was like, fucking genius. Perfect.
So literally, what are you thinking? Like, did you just pull a me on me?
He's like, wait, I was going to fuck this game up.
So, like, analytics, they 100% do work.
Not true.
I mean, the Dodgers are the most analytical team in baseball, and they have been.
And they got out analyticked.
But they won.
Because the other team pulled analytics.
The Dodgers were using analytics too.
So
the
done
whole
with this.
time.
Use your fucking turn on your fucking.
We were
brain.
not supposed to win this game, and we won because of analytics.
We played this one, and I'm gonna bring it up again. Pick any team in baseball, and pick one.
I got a better one this time. Nationals.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay, so that is a really good example. They sucked dick the whole year. They scrape by. They get in a playoff spot. And, yeah, did they get hot and not use analytics? Yep, they did.
Baseball.
Dude,
Okay, but
he
that's
was
one example.
he was
Get to the dance. You asked for one.
Snell was
That's
fucking
one example.
Snell was
Ask for one.
dicing.
I don't
Snell
want
was
one. I want 6.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Communism.
No,
What do
that's
you mean?
statistics. Give me 6 statistics. We talked about this before the potty, but I'm gonna bring it up because we're on. Listen, you can take those 60 games of analytics and throw those in, but guess what? When you get to the World Series, you can toss all that shit out of the door because none of that matters. Normally, what? It's 164 games, and you got all these jumbled up analytics, and it may work during the regular season, but when you get in the World Series, toss that shit out and use your
Moneyball.
eyes, use your
Moneyball.
brain.
I-
Let's get to work here.
150% disagree with everything you're saying. The only thing that we can agree on is that Cashman should not have taken out Snell. Up until that point, all the analytical moves that the Rays did are what got them to the World Series.
Was the analytical move in the fourth game to have Chris Taylor fuck up the ground ball, then throw it home, and Will Smith
No,
to miss
it
the
wasn't.
tag? Was that in the analytics?
Did
no.
the analytics
But what
tell
does
you?
that have to do with Cashman or Roberts? or
That's how they won game 4.
Okay, you want to know what the analytics did do is the analytics told them, hey, we're going to go up and we're going to put in the lefty to face fucking Kenley because lefties hit righties better than righties do. And he went up and he got a base hit. And that motherfucker hasn't got a hit
That's
in 10
exactly
days.
what Cashman did was, I don't want him to go through the order a third time because you know what happens to pitchers
I'm
the
not
third
sticking
time.
up for that
He went
that
0
move.
and 6. No, but that's analytics. He went the
That's
top
one
3
example
batters,
of analytics.
Turner, Seager, and Mookie Betts were 0 and 6 with 6 strikeouts with Snell pitching to them, and
Stone
he
Heat.
threw him out because the top of the lineup's coming up. I don't want him to pitch another one. Why? Because Austin Barnes got a hit. Austin Barnes closes his eyes every time he fucking swings. He's going to get a hit off a good pitcher because he doesn't know what the fuck he's hitting.
I
ever.
agree with you that analytics does work sometimes. But when a guy is hot, you're in the playoffs, you're already at the dance. The tuxedo's on. You drove up in the nice car. You got the hot date. Let your guy do his thing. Hit the dance floor. Hit a spin move.
Sure.
Come on, kids. Show it off.
No, I like I said
And
before,
they fucked it up.
I'm not defending what Cashman did. That was a fucking blow it. He is going to have to live with that forever.
Because they're not coming back.
No, that's not necessarily true
They
because
can't pay to keep those guys.
Before we,
they don't have anyone they need to pay though.
yeah, Rosarena just.
They-
Oh, Rosarena.
He's asking for his check
I've
now.
explained this to you guys so many times. He's a rookie. He's under contract for 6 years. They don't need to pay him more than $600,000 a year or until he hits arbitration, and he hasn't hit those arbitration years
You think
yet.
they'll do that to him? There's no way out of that. 100%.
There's no way out
The
of it
baseball-
unless they trade him.
Baseball must be a lot different than the NFL
Yeah,
because if
'cause
you're
guys
that
just
good, when
sit.
you'll just say, you know what, fuck you. You
I'm
either
not gonna
trade
play.
me, you drop me, you do something because I need to get paid. Rosarena went 2 for 4 with a home run in the last game. He was the only one that did shit. He fucking was a stud. Before we start sucking off the Dodgers because they had a great bullpen game, Rosarena fucking did well. Analytics don't mean shit because if they did, Rosarena wouldn't be batting third because he did absolutely fucking nothing all year. So they threw that shit away and said, Rosarena's hot. Let's throw him in.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to go around analytics. I think that coaches go absolutely full stupid ass during the playoffs and they think like, I need to win this game. No, you don't. Let your fucking players play. Look at what the Dodgers did trusting their bullpen in this last game. They threw the right guys. See, Dave Roberts didn't pull his stupid ass move, which you think Dave Roberts is a good coach. Dave Roberts fucking sucks. But for once, he made a good decision.
You're gonna make
Instead,
him cry right now.
I know, he said Julio Arias is our hot hand. Oh my God, if he would have pulled him out in the ninth, I would have fucking lost it. Just because I don't even care about the Dodgers, but I had money on the game because I wanted to be happy with you guys. And they fucking, thank God he didn't do that because I would have thrown something at my fucking TV and I don't even give a fuck.
Okay, so I have to interrupt you though. Julio goes out there in the ninth. He blows the game. What do you say about Dave Roberts? You say, fuck Dave Roberts. Why do you leave Julio in? Trinan was
No.
in the bullpen, ready to go. Had the
Are we
day
talking
off.
hypotheticals? Because what
What
did
I-
Julio do?
All
What-
I'm saying
No.
is you are treating Dave like a hypothetical. If the Dodgers win, then Dave does a good job. If he loses, it's automatically his
No,
I
fault.
no.
still
That's
think he
not
did
how
a
it
bad
works.
job. He started Goslin, which I don't agree with.
And the Dave move was to
But
take Julio out.
The thing is too, and then okay, so we talked about this earlier. So you're gonna start Julio, okay? So
I would start Julio.
Julio started in Game 5. Walker started in game 4. So how are you going to start Julio on shorter rest than if you would have just put Bueller out there? That would be playing to lose. Because you're
agree.
hoping, because then you're going, oh, well, I'll have Bueller on full rest, so I don't give a fuck what happens to Julio, right? Julio was only coming into that game if the Dodgers
Had
were
a chance to
leading.
win.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
did.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was playing to lose and go to Game 7 with Bueller. Like
He just wanted to see a Game 7. Dave Roberts.
it's-
Dave Roberts was like, I got Bueller in my back pocket. Let me just throw the scrubs out.
The only other logical choice to go in game 6 right there over Gonsolin would have been Alex Wood, and he used him out of the bullpen. And I had plenty of people texting me when Dave pulled out Alex Woods after his 2 perfect innings, going, "What the fuck's Dave doing?" And then he puts in Baez,
No.
and everyone hates Baez, right? But
I
he
hate
goes,
Alex Wood too, though.
Hey,
but they just combined for fucking 3 1/3 perfect innings in the World Series clincher.
You know who had a better combo?
Who?
Gonzalez and Urias.
Sure, they all did a great job, but
did you
were
just say your
amazing.
ass?
You're in your ass.
Gonzalez in your ass had a great fucking game. No, dude.
Gonzalez in your ass.
Timeout. The Dave Roberts move was definitely pulling Urias out. That was the pull Snell out move. That was such a Dave Roberts move. Yeah, I literally think
That
that,
was-
Dave
that was
Roberts
worse.
called that in. I think that he
Dave has
somehow
never done anything
fucking
He
like
got on
that.
their group chat. He's like, hey, I think we should pull Snell.
like
Dave-
called the wrong bullpen. He's like, fucking warm this guy up.
If you watch Dave's fuck ups, it is never pulling somebody early. It's leaving in somebody too long.
He does. He leaves Kershaw to die.
That what they did to Snell, that was unexcusable. That doesn't even make sense.
What do you have? 73 pitches and
It do-
6
and
innings.
like
and
I get,
dicing.
you know,
dicing.
like when you look at it, and
we
the
doing?
only reason why you can start to see why they got a little worried, like I said, based off of what he was doing, it's still unexcusable. But Snell has not pitched that deep into a game all year, but hey, he was doing it, and I'm saying like you shouldn't have pulled him. But the thing that was the weirdest one to me, and I really could have let it slide a little bit more if they would have picked like a better one of their relievers to bring in.
You know what was funny is when they pulled him and then Mookie like looked at Dave Roberts like, oh my God,
Yeah.
here we
The-
go. He
the
smiled at
guy-
him and then they're asking all the guys at the end of the game like, what did you think when he pulled him? And they're all trying to be nice like, well, I think that was a terrible decision.
Yeah,
but
Mookie's like, I don't know what he was thinking.
what the hell is that
and
dumbass thing?
the guy they brought in, he's given up runs in every single one of his outings except for 2 in the playoffs, and I think he's had
Yeah.
like 10
14
outings.
hits.
It's just like
Give up.
something.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
something
horrible.
ridiculous, and it's like you. And don't get me wrong, the Rays bullpen is really good, but like that was not the best guy right there.
How about Justin Turner? Poor guy, just fucking. Oh, you got COVID in the 8th inning. Wait, time out. Like he wasn't like split and dip with someone. Like after, like he wasn't around everyone for 8 innings. Like he didn't go over to fucking Seager's can
Yeah.
and take a 5-finger bear claw out, and then they had to take him out, put him in the fucking dugout or whatever in the clubhouse and for the fake virus and say, hey, you got to go
We don't
sit
know
away
if it's
from.
fake.
All right, I'm sorry.
We don't know yet.
But he had to fucking go set him in the dugout and say, you can't hang out with your team. Go away. In the World Series, like your whole team's celebrating and you're in your bubble in the closet or something. That shit was terrible. I'm glad he came out and fucking partied because
yeah, he
let the
deserved
guy
that.
unleash it.
That thing's weird. Like the bubble situation that they had for those players. So like first of all, both teams were staying in the same hotel, kind of weird. But on top of that, the hotel wasn't just exclusively to the players. They had a bunch of random motherfuckers like you and me just going and staying at the hotel, and like
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just
Yeah.
You're at the
family.
morning buffet, like asking
It's
Snell,
right.
like, hey, what are you thinking
And-
tonight?
and-
What are you gonna throw?
And I don't know what the hotel was, but like, if we're gonna really get in the nitty gritty, like everyone wants to, if that place has like essential air, then then it's not a bubble, like that's not quarantine. And then you have the situation where everyone's celebrating out on the field. Yeah, sure, there's media out there that aren't really hanging out with everyone. at
Turner's
the same
kissing
time.
his girl.
But it's like those families have been together with each other, with each other's kids, nonstop for 3 weeks. And if you want my personal opinion, unless Turner's doing something fucking shady, which that would be a hell of a scandal, I don't get how he would have got it, and nobody else has it. It doesn't make sense.
He's getting ground balls at third base. He's throwing it to first. First baseman's throwing it to the pitcher. The pitcher's throwing it to the catcher. It's getting hit to the outfield.
Yeah, but people rubbing nuts
They're
and
touching.
scratching your ass. I mean, baseball players don't wash their hands in the middle of the game. 100% doesn't happen. I'm licking my fingers every time I throw a fastball down the cock. So that shit's not happening. Number one. Number two, I want to start ask you guys a question because I'm ignorant to the subject. Now, the World Series MVP, is that based just on the World Series or the whole playoffs?
Just the World Series.
Okay, so Mookie Betts could have won that. I mean,
I don't think so.
I know.
Dude.
Put the stats down. I get it, dude. Seager had an unbelievable whole playoffs, but also World Series. But like Mookie Betts was that game changer, that wild card. Like I'm
He
gonna
was
do
our-
this,
he was
that,
our
this.
edge.
Yeah, like if
was
you don't,
our
if you're
edge.
just watching the game and stats don't exist, you're like that guy's the best player on the field. He does everything.
I get where you're coming from at that point, though. I feel like you're giving a World Series like MVP to an entity instead of like an actual performer. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of Game 6 and Game 1, Mookie was fucking horrible. And like he played a good defense, but his bat was not there.
He stole
You know?
bases pretty good.
But that was Game 1.
He
when
does
he stole,
everything.
but he had to get on, and he wasn't getting on.
Now his two robs, was that in the NLCS or was that?
It was in
World
the.
Series?
He had a good catch in the World Series, but his robs were in the NLCS.
And he also scored 2 runs in Game 7.
Oh well, Game 6. No, that's what I'm
Game
saying.
6,
Game
yeah.
6, he showed up, and in Game 1 he was there, and but like what I'll say, Corey I think was the clear cut winner, and we've been talking about him a lot. I think the number 2 guy, I think it's Julio.
Julio, yeah, baby.
but
I
you
said
don't
that.
wanna-
I would have gave if you can give a pitcher an MVP. I would.
Oh,
have
you can do it in there.
You don't want to cook it for Kershaw with 2 wins?
No.
I thought about it.
I think he should have got it.
I think that if they would have done it, I wouldn't have questioned it because
At
it was
all.
like, because like I said, there was no single dude who was just good every fucking single game. And Kershaw was really good in Game 1. And then in Game 5, like he wasn't great, but he figured out a way to fucking give us the innings and only give up a couple runs, keep us in the game so we could get the win.
Sneaky good too was Gonzalez. Gonzalez pitched a fucking absolute gem.
Yeah. Side story on that guy. He almost quit baseball.
Yeah. Him and Julio are really good friends. Julio's one of the guys that got him to stay back in.
Yeah. I saw a picture of them in 2011.
That tandem was what won it all. I mean,
at the end,
he
yeah.
had I think he went 1.1 innings and then he had 3 Ks if I'm not mistaken. No walks. I don't know. Did he even give up a hit? He was unbelievable. And jazz me the fuck up when he finishes an inning and he screams like he just fucking won. Oh, he won the World Series. So good for that guy. He fucking teared it up. I was happy to see that. And then I also want to see Gratterall. That guy, poor guy, does 2 outs every game and then they're like, oh, you're gone.
Yeah, so I think a good way to, we could kind of cap this thing off would be just to kind of talk about a little bit of the situation we have going into the offseason where the Dodgers stand. For everyone who doesn't know that, pending any kind of, signings, that could have been the last game you see Justin Turner, Kike, Jock Peterson, your boy Pedro Baez,
Fucking get out.
Blake Trinan, and Jake McGee. I'm gonna be honest. Of all those guys, I think you go out and you try to get Turner on maybe a little team friendly deal. He's older, but if he's not willing to do that, I think you let him walk. To be honest,
Well,
don't
him
think-
more than
yeah.
anyone proved that he can only play with the Dodgers because God
And,
knows he was a disaster with the Mets.
He deserves to be a Dodger for
He does.
life. Give him. We don't have to give him a great contract, but give the guy enough money to retire on.
The Dodgers have a
Give
shit
him a
ton of
good-
money. That's
give
the
him a good
difference
amount of money.
between baseball and basketball, though, is like if you're giving a guy a lot of money or football, even like you're hurting the salary cap.
there's no salary cap. in
Baseball,
baseball.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like the Dodgers can afford him, so just pay the fuck.
And I'm not sure how it works in baseball, but I know in football you get a bigger share if you win the Super Bowl, correct?
You get some money,
So you
but
get
that's
more?
not really like kind of the big thing that they'd be drawing. So the way that baseball works is there's not a salary cap, but there's a luxury tax. So if you go over a certain amount, they just
pay
tax
more,
you
yeah.
like crazy.
America, welcome to taxes.
No, that's actually just California. So the Dodgers actually just got 8
That-
times
that's-
taxed.
But I'd say of those guys that I listed before, the one guy that I think is like the dude you really want to go out and get again is like Blake Trinan. I think he
love that guy.
Yeah.
You love that guy.
Yeah, so with him and then just the Dodgers, they really have they got the weapons to do his thing again.
So you think let Kike just walk?
Yeah, there's a guy in the minors named Zach McKinstry, kind of does the same thing. Jock, DJ Peters kind of does the same
So
thing.
that's what I heard I heard DJ Peters is going to come up and fill one of the roles, and then they
Well,
let Kike walk.
Yeah, he was there, so he was.
our boy.
What he was getting BP. I think you told us, Alex. He was getting BP
Yeah,
just because they're like, we need to get this guy some looks and get him hitting. And
he's just been practicing with the team and whatnot. I don't necessarily think that his role is to fill Kike. I think if anything, it would be to fill Jock. Kike is a little bit more versatile.
Yeah, I
and can
think they're
play a
gonna
bunch of
move.
positions.
I heard they're going to move guys like Chris Taylor will probably go to Kike's spot.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, like it depends too. They're talking about what the deal with the designated hitter is going to be. If they keep that in the NL, then which they should, by the way. I think that really helps Turner's case. But yeah, next year, I mean, like some of the cases, like you really got out there, it's like, I think you got a fifth starter spot. You got obviously Kershaw's going to be out there. You got Bueller. You got Julio.
He's proven now. He's
can
a
Kershaw
guy.
do a couple more years, or what are we thinking there?
Well, before we get to that, you have David Price joining the crew again.
What about the trick of the year right there? Doesn't throw one pitch, wins a World Series.
I don't think he gets a ring, to be honest.
Oh, he's part of the team.
Yeah,
He's on the roster.
What happened to him? Was he hurt?
He just sat out because of COVID.
Oh,
Pulled the COVID.
honestly, he shouldn't get a ring. But
I give him a ring so he comes and pitches
Yeah.
next year.
But him, and then you have Gonsolin and May fighting for that last spot, and I to be honest,
give it
Fuck
to May.
Gosselin.
dude, I don't know though, because May, I really think like if we're gonna talk about like a replacement for like Kenley, I mean, May's got the dirtiest stuff on the team.
I think May played good in the season. In the playoffs, he showed he was young.
I think
And that's okay.
I think he did well out of the pen though. Like I just like I don't think that's what his like future is. But I think he can develop further. But that was where he was valuable. And so I think as it stands, he's kind of the odd man out. I think with the way we enter the next season, they might try to give Kenley the closer job from the get go. But I think you got to do Bruce Star. I think you got to do Bruce Star.
Dude, he throws 100 miles an hour every fucking time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, boys. The Dodgers are World Series champions. Burn the fucking city down. Burn it to the ground. Start looting. Fucking
Fireworks
tear the
are going
fucking
off,
shit off.
boys.
Do what you got to do. Alex, finish this off. You got any closing words? I know. I mean, fuck. This is literally his childhood dream just happened last night. So what do you got for us?
Yeah, like overall super surreal feeling. I really think I mentioned it a little before. I think this is like I felt like a curse was lifted. I think this is going to be really crazy for the future of the Dodgers organization, and more so, I opened it with it, so I feel like I got to close it with it. Clayton Kershaw is a World Series champion.
Huge for the regime.
That makes my heart feel great.
Boom.
Lippers are in. Welcome back. Week 7 NFL. Wow, did we have a crazy one. Let's recap Week 7. We start in Philly where the scumbag Philly fans are staying peppered like their cheesesteaks. 2-4-1 equals first place. New York Giants, 21. Philadelphia Eagles, 22. Down to Nashville where the Steelers rock and rolled right through the Titans. Big Ben remains ageless and fat as fuck, out of shape. Pittsburgh, 27. Tennessee, 24. On to the Burrow-Baker shootout, where both defenses got diced like two squids on the die table. Cleveland 37, Cincinnati 34.
Freezer tarps.
Ayo, shout out. Buffalo out to prove that the Jets can be beaten even when they don't play 3 of the 4 quarters. Yikes. Buffalo 18, New York Jets 10. Daddy Drew says no receivers, no problem. As the Saints sneak past Carolina. Carolina 24, Saints 27. The Heartbreak Kids are back again. Atlanta shatters their fans' heart once again. Detroit 23, Atlanta 22. Holy shit. The Cowgirls are in full effect, boys. Dallas 3, Washington 25. Yikes. Devontae. Packers say, fuck you, Houston. I love it. Green Bay 35, Houston 20. What the actual fuck just happened? Smile and wave. Kyler, Seattle 34, Arizona 37. Smile at your boy. Grab me some herb and let's light that shit up. Herbert looking like a magician out there. Jacksonville 29, Chargers 39.
Yes.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Kansas City 43, Denver 16 in our first snow game of the year. Let's go, boss. Scam, scum, chum. Say goodnight, Boston. We got a bad one here. San Francisco 33, New England Patriots 6. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, especially Gronk. Post-game rippers all around, boss. Tampa Bay 45, Las Vegas 20. And finally, the finale. Big Dick Nick has now been demoted to Little Dick Nick. Bears suck. Chicago 10, LA Rams 24. Let's jump into it, boys.
Yeah.
What an absolute week, Joe. How did the bets go?
NFL, not good. College, not good. But the best part about it is more football this week.
Hey, bounce back. I went 4-2-1 on Sundays. Sundays seem to be my shit. I need to stop betting Mondays and Thursdays. Alex, did we get any football in, or were you just so locked in on baseball that shit was not being watched?
Yeah, I pretty much haven't done anything for the last week and a half. Kind of just been cocooned up in my little.
Did you
in my
shower?
Not been thinking. Well, I thought it was good luck for a little bit, and then game 4.
No, I could smell it. It was good luck. We got some wins.
But let's start out. I don't even want to talk about Philly and the Giants because they suck. So let's jump into Pittsburgh, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Are they real or are they fake? I don't. It kills me because they're in the same division as the Browns, but I think the Steelers and the Ravens are both real. I think the Steelers could fold when it matters most. Big Ben, if that guy's healthy, he's like Tom Brady. I think he's playing until he's 60.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because we've been fucking around with this joke all season. At what point did the Steelers just bench Big Ben because they're scared he's gonna get hurt and they already punched their ticket to the playoffs?
When they're 12-0. Actually, they can't in that division. They can't. They can't do it.
And he plays better when he's hurt. It's a proven fact.
Yeah,
If
he needs a
doesn't
broken
have,
thumb.
Yeah,
So he
if he
needs
doesn't
like
have
a-
ice on, he's not good.
So it needs like a little hairline fracture to really
He needs
make the
to-
Steelers get going.
He needs
gotta be like
he needs a
this on the
finger off the
sideline.
helmet. He needs a fucking finger off the helmet, like week 10, with a shattered thumb on his throwing hand, and then he'll be perfect. He'll be ready to go.
Just wearing a glove to keep it in place.
They're undefeated, right?
Absolutely, the only
Yeah.
undefeated team left in. There was one other undefeated team that went down.
Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks. Yeah.
Seahawks, disappointing. Yeah, I could see them going like 10-0, and then him hurting his ankle or wrist, anything. Drinking too much the night before. Rudolph comes in, loses 2 games. They're 10-2.
Get
And then-
smacked with a helmet real quick.
Yeah, and then Big Ben comes back, and he's like, "All right, I'm here to save you guys. Let's do it."
Speaking of the Seahawks, we're gonna throw in. I think we should just make it a section now where we just talk about DK and stroke him for like 10 minutes. DK with the rundown.
I
Is
think
he a
that-
safety?
I think that's the most athletic play I've ever seen in sports.
Did it not look like it was like fast forwarded? It looked like I was watching it and I'm like, did I watch the correct video? Like, is this live? Because
He looked like a machine on a track.
Yeah, it looked like a high school highlight tape that you send in to your, your little D1 tape. Like it's like your Saturday game. You're running down some fucking scrub on the B team, and like that's what that looked like.
you're playing all the shit guys on Saturday, freshmen, and you're just killing everyone. That was fucking classic. He looked unbelievable. I thought for 1 second, Buda Baker. What a name, by the way, Buda Baker. I thought Buda Baker fucking went into pause mode. Like he glitched out. Like Madden, he was all fucking glitchy, and TK Metcalf just kept chasing after him.
And it's not like he caught a lineman or something. He caught a safety, a
Yeah.
dude that guards like the dude that guards him.
Yeah. Did you hear? They had him mic'd up, and he asked to his teammates, turns around, like, "How the fuck did that guy catch me? How the fuck did he catch me?"
Is that a true story?
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
where
seen that.
yeah,
'Cause he's a machine.
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
What a week. So much to learn. I mean, this next week that we have coming up, we can jump in a second because we have some good games. The spreads are all low. I mean, this is, in a way, it's a gambler's fucking dream. And then also just traps left and right. But
Before we get into that, though,
Give me
does OBJ getting hurt help the Browns or hurt the Browns?
you
Does that help or hurt? Because they won the game when he left.
It helps him. It helps him. It really does. I've been telling all my boys for the last week, or since it happened. So when he went down, Baker was 0 for 5 with an interception, and after that, Baker went 22 of 23 for 290 something yards, and the only incompletion was a spiked pass. That is incredible. Number one. Number two, Donovan Peoples-Jones looks unbelievable. Unleash fucking Rashad Hollywood Higgins. That guy had an amazing catch to fucking even give him the opportunity to win. But fucking Browns, huge for the regime. Huge for the regime. I haven't seen a comeback victory, even though it was against the fucking dirtbag Cincinnati Bengals. I haven't seen a comeback like that from the Browns ever. I haven't seen it.
And Peoples-Jones is actually a steal. I looked him up after the game. He's a 6th-round pick.
Michigan.
The guy was a 5-star recruit, the number 1 wide receiver to ever come out of Michigan.
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
And they didn't do shit with him.
So many people sneaky get into the league, and then either they don't ever get the opportunity, so you never hear of them. But you have guys like Donovan's Peoples-Jones. He was just waiting on the side. He did not have a catch going into this game. He ended up catching the biggest catch for the Browns in a long time. I mean, to win the fucking game, that was huge. So much going right for Cleveland. They got the Raiders this week. That is a big topic. We'll talk about that moving forward. But I do want to dabble into the Atlanta Falcons. I mean,
oh my God, they find every way to lose. They didn't try to. Did you see they didn't try to score?
So I have Gurley. I just traded him, but I had Gurley on my fantasy team.
Perfect time.
The guy gets 22 carries for 16 yards every game, but
Dropped
he has
him off at
3
Goodwill.
touchdowns. Yeah, no, I fucking got rid of him. R.I.P. Sorry, Pete. But he tried to so if you guys didn't watch, he tried to fall before the goal line because I think if he would have fell, they would have just ran the clock out. Game would have been over. Yeah. He accidentally, quote unquote, accidentally fell into the end zone.
There's a picture.
And you knew what happened.
There's a picture of all the Lions guys. He's laying on the goal line, and all the Lions defenders are like this, showing touchdown. They're like, he scored. Give us the ball.
That was a Mike Vrabel move. That was a Mike Vrabel move where you do the whole we're gonna pretend like we're playing defense to fool them, but it showed a couple of the linebackers, and they went to go bear hug him, but they were told let him score.
Yeah, they were picking cherries.
It was awesome. That's good football. Great football. To trust Matt Stafford is great football because that guy sucked. Alex,
something like Atlanta, dude. Like Atlanta sports, they just know how to fucking choke on a fatty, bro.
Something about the state.
There's something in the water over there.
They choke so hard that I'm taking a money line this week. But all right, that was a sneak peek. Yeah, they fucking suck. That sucks. I'm sorry for them. But then last thing, and then we'll move on to this upcoming week is the New England Patriots just got shit on Scam Newton. Looked like dog shit. His arm, I think he when you hit a ground ball to the shortstop and it bad hops you, he double hopped a ball to a 5-yard out, and I was like, oh my God, he's hurt.
He was hurt. Yeah, they said he's hurt, right?
I know. I haven't heard that he's hurt, but shit, he looked like
he dropped that after the game. He's like, actually, I threw 3 picks because I was hurt. He did the cover. He covered himself.
We also got to know who's saying that, and that's Cam Newton. So do I believe it? No. But, I guess time will tell because they're on my card this week too, and we need them to figure it out. I don't even feel we went so many years of we want the Patriots to suck because they were good for so long, and now that they actually suck, I feel uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. My question is, at what point do they start really, and I know he's not, the best quarterback in the league, but at what point do they start wishing they had fucking Garoppolo?
Oh, my God. I mean, I don't think he's that good with the 49ers. He has a great defense behind him and a great run game, but you want him over Cam. But the guy you really want
is Brady.
Yeah. But, Belichick's like, I fucked up.
But you also... Jimmy Garoppolo got benched 2 weeks ago, so I think that this shit's just a crapshoot. There's a handful of quarterbacks that you're they're going to be good every week, and then the other ones are they're good quarterbacks, but some weeks they're just going to throw you a goose egg. So
Cam's never been a system quarterback, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, you look at how Brady and Belichick have been so successful, and obviously Cam Newton, he's a big name, sounds really good on paper, but does he really even fit into that style of play?
He's a different system, and they only got the run package for him on the goal line, so they thought that would be enough. And it's oh, wow, this guy actually can't make any throw that Brady used to make.
And let's not forget, he has no one around him. You can't expect this guy to do anything. He has 0 receivers. He has N'Keal Harry, and the only guy he's got is Edelman. I do, but like
I love Nikhil.
he hasn't done
is
shit.
great.
He hasn't done shit, and Julian Edelman is their only hope, and that guy hasn't done shit. So yeah, obviously that's partly because Cam sucked, but holy shit, like get some guys around him that honestly they should have just went back to Antonio Brown. They should have picked him up before Daddy Tommy did.
Antonio wasn't going to a loser. He told his agent that I'm going to a winner and I'm getting a Super Bowl.
But it's only fitting that a loser goes to a loser because that guy's a fucking loser.
I like it. I like everything about him.
He fits just the little, like, they get Gronk, they get Brady, they're doing this little bad boy bullshit. They're the Bucks. They got some fucking weird old jerseys with their goddamn pirate ship out there. Like, if Antonio Brown's going on any team, it's one with a fucking pirate ship in the stadium. For
And
sure.
Godwin just broke his finger,
Yeah, I mean,
so he's playing.
yeah, I don't, Antonio's a weird ass motherfucker, but I think if you just kind of let him be weird and just play, I think you're probably gonna be fine.
I mean, the
Yeah.
whole beating is like kids and wife or whatever he's done is also
His
not
wife
good.
too.
I think he definitely. Actually, I think he still has pending sexual assaults against him. So
Oh,
he's not a
fan.
good guy.
See, like at that
Not a
point,
fan.
at
I
that
thought he was
point
just
though,
weird.
it's like, and I'm not condoning it by any means, but how does the NFL even like let that in? You know, that's kind of, but
Yeah.
that's a different topic.
I'm on the definitely. I always am like questioning when someone claims sexual assault against a professional athlete. You definitely have to dig in, and by no means some of these professional athletes are scumbags, so they could do it. But anytime someone does something or files something against a professional athlete, you always have to go, wait a second, this guy can technically get any girl he wants. Did he really but that's who knows. I hope it's not true.
You got to think about the power in their head too. Like they think they can have anything they want,
And maybe
and then that becomes
they're
a
like,
problem.
I can't. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're like, oh, well, I can get any girl I want, so I know this girl wants me, but deep down, this girl's like, that guy's creepy.
And he's blacked out,
Probably.
so he's
I
like,
I
"Yeah,
bet-
she loves me."
I bet you Antonio
Like,
Brown.
no, dude, she's running.
Antonio
she's
Brown's
running
got
from
some
you.
other.
He doesn't drink. I bet you he's just a hard drug kind of guy. But I know marijuana wouldn't do that to him, so he's got some serious issues. Maybe football will bring him back. But let's because we're running low on time in this segment, let's get into this next week. We have some phenomenal games. I mean, even though the first game's a shitbag titty fuck game of the week, Atlanta versus Carolina is a sneaky one. And then the game of the week, hands down, which I think we have at 10 a.m., is Pittsburgh Baltimore. That is massive. Absolutely massive this week coming up. It's at Baltimore. The Pittsburgh Steelers are giving they got 3.5 points. So Baltimore's the favorite. That's going to be a massive game, man. I think that it's going to be an absolute shootout. The over-under is 46. We're not going to get into picks super hard here, but take that. We got that game. We also got Cleveland and Las Vegas could be a good one. We got New Orleans at Chicago, which record-wise it's a good one, but Nick Foles just is a failure to life. Fuck me.
He got rammed, bro. Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Don't get mad. He got
Just
rammed.
ram it.
He got rammed.
Just ram it. Yes.
Rams win. Rams win. Jalen Ramsey. I was fucking crying when I saw that video.
Yeah, he got
I was
fucking.
loving
He got
it.
torched twice. Jalen Ramsey, if Nick Foles
Didn't give up any.
had bigger nuts
He
than
didn't give up
fucking
any
little
touchdowns.
marbles. I know he didn't. He got burned twice, and Nick Foles fucking missed him. One of
Doesn't
them,
count.
one
Doesn't
of them, he
count.
got a lot of pressure, so he couldn't. It wasn't technically his fault. He just had to throw it up before he wanted to. But oh my god, Jalen Ramsey was tossed. And then late on in the game, when they were doing their last second drive, Jalen Ramsey got fucking torched again, dude.
He was sleeping.
And then Nick Foles just threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, he didn't care. There was like 2 minutes left.
Yeah,
He was like, we're up by 2 scores. I'm going to bed.
I don't know, but we have Philly Dilly, the sweaty postman, just looking like an absolute UPS driver. He's taking on Detroit. That'll be a good one. Philly Dilly looks like the most average human you would ever know. He's back at it this week. I think they had a bye last week. Don't quote me on that. I believe they did. And then I just found this out. Largest point spread in a long time, 19.5 for New York Jets, Kansas City.
I knew the Jets were in that. I just knew it would be the Jets or somebody.
The New York Jets need to quit football. They need to quit football or quit this year at least, regather, gather some troops, some picks, and get the fuck on because they are bad.
Didn't they keep it close against Buffalo, or what's up with that game?
18-10, yeah, they kept it
didn't watch
close.
it.
Buffalo didn't score a touchdown. They kicked 6 field goals. I think they
Oh
kicked
my
8 field
God.
goals, but they missed 2.
Josh Allen has turned into his true self, huh?
They were sleeping. They were sleeping. Yeah, I don't think Buffalo came out, like I said, until the third quarter. I think they just let them do 7-on-7 on air, and they still didn't score anything. So that was sad. And then we'll finish it up with the I don't want to call it a return because he hasn't started yet. The debut of Tua Tagovailoa.
Who's he gonna play? The Rams? Or
Yeah.
the Rams are on a bye?
Nope, he's got the Rams.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
they're
the
gonna
Rams.
lose. He's gonna throw 2 picks.
Who is?
Tua will throw 2 picks.
Tua 2?
2. Tua down. Put him down for 2.
Tua 2 picks. Yeah, that's gonna be fucking a good game to watch just because of that. That's gonna be cool. I think Miami may look great with them. I don't know. What are they? They're 3-3 or 4-3 or they're not bad. They're not bad. So
They
that
have
will.
karma coming for bench and Fitz.
I hope so.
They're gonna do the whole 2 games with Tua. He's gonna play bad because he's a rookie, and then they're gonna try to put Fitz back in.
I'm gonna start a petition to get Fitz to Dallas. Save their season. I mean, Dallas can win or lose the next 5 games and still be in the division. So get Fitz to Dallas. Somebody get Fitz to Dallas. It needs to happen because that guy's not done playing football. He's got a beard. Unlike, you want to talk about Letty? That guy throws in, shout out Freezer Tarps again, throws in fucking parm, fucking
Parm on
mango
the
chutney.
right. Yeah.
Absolute.
That
he-
dressing, dude. Yeah.
he is the opposite of a Chundy. So he needs to get to a good team, and we're going to have a good week. We got the bets coming soon. Stay tuned to the Degenerate Corner, Degen's Corner, as we like to call it. We got some serious bets going, and I think I'm getting hot right at the right time. So Joe's going to have a big bounce back week. I'm going to throw
Mhm.
probably 7-0, I think, maybe 8-0 this week. So stay tuned
go
to
for 10.
Degenerate's Corner, and let's get into college football. Boom.
All right, you scumbags, we're back for some college football, the most degenerate betting sport of them all. We got a lot going this week. We're talking top rankings, who's underrated, who's overrated, the Big Ten with the big debacle on a 21-day coronavirus. Might as well send the guys to Hawaii to end the season. And last, we're going to top on the biggest games left of the season. So let's jump in, boys. Who is your most underrated team in the rankings right now?
My most underrated, I'm going to throw in Ohio State, but before we...
Homer alert. Homer.
Overrated Penn State. Oh, my God.
Mm.
Actually, overrated the whole Big Ten. The whole Big Ten. Overrated. I don't know if they had cobwebs, but they look like dog shit. The only one...
Michigan looked good.
That's my underrated. You took it, bastard.
I just had to
You
throw it
fucking
out
threw
there.
it in there. I didn't want to have to say their name. You said Michigan. I didn't say Michigan. Now I said Michigan. The team up north is the most underrated team. They look good.
And now they're going to lose this week because we both like them.
I
Great.
love it.
My most overrated team is easily Oklahoma State at 6. They have played no one.
I don't like that. I don't like that
How
pick.
are they 6?
Yeah, but I just feel like they can put up a shit ton of points. And
They
do
can't.
that. But they do that every year. They can't. They literally.
Look it up.
That's what I'm
Look
doing
it
right
up.
now. They're fucking.
They scored 16 points
What are
against
they ranked?
Tulsa.
6?
6 in the country. Number 6.
Okay, just because they're 6 in the country, now I'll say they're overrated.
Way
But
overrated. They should be like 13
they're still undefeated. So, timeout.
till this week.
Timeout. Yeah, they're still undefeated. Alex, do you have an overrated, underrated? Anyone that comes to mind?
I got a question just to check in on them because I know every year I kind of find them overrated. How's Notre Dame doing?
Overrated. They put it in my ass last week though. I had Pitt plus 11 and they won the game by I think 500 points.
So like that school, that one, they got to be like the hardest school to put like your finger on because they pick who they play, correct?
So
Not
this
this
year,
year.
no, this year in the
Oh.
ACC.
But no,
Oh.
normally they technically, in a way, I don't know how their schedule's made, but it does seem like they just fucking pick who they want to play,
And they pick good teams though. They'll play Stanford, USC.
Yeah.
They'll throw in a Big Ten,
and that's
a
why
Big
they're
12.
always.
Does USC still count as a good team?
It's a rivalry, so they could always
Okay.
lose it. Rivalry games are always good.
Yeah. So like with them, so are they just in the ACC this year for like some COVID rules, or is that just kind of how they're gonna be going here forward?
the ACC basically told them none of our teams are going to play out of conference. So if you want to play in our conference, you got to be in the conference.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, so
Laid it down on them.
underrated. We got Penn State. I'm also now gonna say Wisconsin because they're not gonna play anymore. They're done. So I guess in a way they're underrated because they're ranked. They're done. See ya. 21 day. I mean, what's gonna happen there? They're not playing this week. They're not making it up. They're already only playing 8 games. So now it's 7. What's gonna happen?
Well, they're not. Yeah, they're going to play 5 games for the season.
Oh, that's cute.
That's horrible, but we'll jump into that after. The most underrated team I have on mine is going to be Kansas State. They're 4-1 on the season. They have 1 bad loss. They beat Oklahoma. They beat a lot of good teams in our conference. I think they might run the table.
Another overrated team that you think is so great and you fucking
They're fucking good.
Apostrebos. No, Miami.
You were
overrated.
on them too.
I was.
you asshole.
I was just because I like De'Aaron King, but they are
De'Aaron King can't throw the
overrated.
football.
They're overrated.
He
They
can't throw the
suck.
football.
What happened? Overnight, they just fucking suck. They suck. They're disappointing.
Everybody was right. He's a wide receiver.
It's upsetting, to say the least. But like I said, you could pick a ton from the Big Ten that are overrated. I don't know why they have so many teams ranked. UNC, overrated.
Were they at
UNC,
23?
overrated. 15.
15? I mean, they're going to lose it like 2 or 3 more games. So, yeah. What about you, Alex? You already gave us your overrated team, right? Who's underrated to you?
Underrated wise, I think it's gonna sound like kind of horseshit because of how good they are. But like Gay said earlier, you said Ohio State, and I think I just gotta give it to a team like that because like they're gonna be in a really weird spot with like the less game thing. I think they're really gonna have to show out and like really put their dicks on the table to like qualify for one of those 4 spots, and I think they can do it.
They had a really bad game and they still won by 100.
And let me tell you why they're going to be fucked. Because our next topic, the Big Ten has a 21-day coronavirus policy. And if Wisconsin already got it and they're going to have to sit out for 3 weeks, their whole schedule is going to be fucked.
Just lock yourself indoors. Ohio State, don't leave.
Yeah, but they got to play a game.
Yeah, but I don't think they play Wisconsin this year. So.
No, I'm saying another team gets it, and then that team has to sit out
Yeah.
21 days, and then another team gets it.
Well, everyone fucking stop doing what you're doing. Go inside. Quit fucking. We're not losing the Big Ten, all right? The Midwest will literally.
Yeah.
They don't
We're here
have
to play
anything
football.
else.
So what are the and this could be totally out of the picture, but what are the chances that they try to squeeze in like sounds crazy, but 2 games in a week?
No way.
No way. The coaches won't.
Can't.
Even if you're playing Ohio State, and you're not going to accept that.
Well, and
You need a fucking 2 weeks to prepare for Justin Fields.
It would be a question if they were NFL players because it's like, all right, that's your profession, that's your job, and like you're getting paid to do this. But I don't think you can do that physically to amateur players because dude, you get fucking football beats your ass.
Oh
up.
yeah, for sure.
So you play on Saturday, you're beat up until Wednesday, Thursday. Well, if you had to play 2 in a week, technically it would be 3 in a week because you'd play Saturday, Wednesday, and then run it back again Saturday. It's impossible.
And it's not up to the kids. They would say yes every time, but you got a bunch of old men
Yeah.
sitting at the top counting dollar bills.
So it,
You
like
got your
No.
history professor in the fucking the what do they call it, the where all the old geezers sit around a table and make all the rules.
Idiot circle.
Yeah, they have the idiot circle that's going on, and the committee is what they call it. The committee is just
Yeah.
full of a bunch of douchebags. They don't even like
On
football, and they have the committee making the rules. Like, you guys don't even watch football. Don't tell us what football should do. It should be Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer should be the committee.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see because I feel like the one thing that not just the NCAA but even the NFL, they haven't really made it very public for how they plan to go about like dealing with these issues and trying to make it fair, I guess, because they're at the end of the day, there's flat out just going to be teams that played more games and like for playoffs and for bowl games like that's going to be taken into consideration.
They don't
Well,
know what the fuck they're doing.
That's Ohio State's biggest obstacle right now is that they're probably going to only play 5 games, and then you're going to have them 5-0, and then you're going to have Notre Dame, Georgia, Florida with all 1 or 2 losses.
And they're
And then
going
it's like, who do you put in?
yeah.
5-0 Ohio State.
No. They're not going to do it. There's not enough film.
I mean, there's even going to be drama, even if they don't make it into the Big Four or like the playoff teams. I mean, like even if they get a big bowl game and they played 5 games, it's like, yeah, like at that point, how much are you just giving it to the legacy of Ohio State instead of the performance if they're only playing 5 games?
Oh, no, they're going to blow everybody out in their 5 games, but it'll be against scrubs.
Now you guys are making me nervous. So
Watch, Michigan and them will not play this year. Something will
No,
happen.
Stop it.
Watch, they're going to blow that game for them, and then they're going to have to put off the Big Ten Conference Championship.
So you're telling me that when it's snowing in the Midwest and no one can do jack shit, and Ohio State and Michigan are supposed to play, they're going to say games off. There's going to be riots.
Everybody,
look like Los
everybody's going to have
Angeles.
COVID.
Yeah.
It's going to be a COVID riot.
And what they should do is make sure that everyone gets COVID 21 days before that game, and then perfect.
Yeah.
Bingo. Can't get it again.
We're good. We're all infected.
Yeah, we're good. We got infected today. We got 21 days. We're perfect. Game's on. Don't worry about us. Move on.
That should be the only game Ohio State has to play.
Or they should do the whole Nick Saban thing. Like, I had it for one day. I'm done. I'm good.
But
Don't worry about
But
it.
that's the problem with the Big Ten is they have a policy where it's a 21-day mandatory sit out. That's why
What?
Wisconsin
Who
is fucked.
fucking crowned the Big
You-
Ten as like we're the science?
You think
we're the
there's a-
science conference? Fuck them.
The farmers.
You think
The
there's
farmer.
you think there's a chance they'll go in and kind of maybe make some adjustments to people's schedules so you get the big games happening instead of people playing scrubs?
Have you seen
They
the
left-
adjustments that the Big Ten has made?
They
so
left
far?
no leeway.
Yeah.
They
I-
started late and they
No,
only have 7
I'm
games.
talking about straight up savage shit, going like, "Oh, Ohio State, you're playing an unranked school. We're gonna bang that and make sure, and then we're gonna take Michigan, and oh, you're playing an unranked school that week too. Bang, bang. You two are playing now.
The problem is they're all playing in conference, so you're going to have an undefeated Purdue who's
And
3-0 scheduled to play one of them. They're like, no, we deserve a chance to play out our
And-
season.
typically Ohio State loses to that unranked team, so that would be
Iowa.
that would be fucked up because that's when Ohio State normally slips up. Like they have Penn State this week, so normally next week they'll lose. In an absolute shocker, but they can't do that this year because they don't have enough games to be like, listen, we still are the big dick team here. Like, fuck off. So they got to just run train, which I think they will. But don't knock on wood. We're not talking about that. That shit's
It's
not
already
happening.
hit. It's like you're
Yeah, but fuck
seeing the
Wisconsin.
inevitable. It's the inevitable, though. One team got it. It happened in the SEC. It's like spreading like a wildfire.
With Wisconsin, they have to go shuck some fucking corn for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they'll be back. They'll be back. They'll be grittier than ever, and their linemen are going to be fucking 460. 3 weeks and no running, they're going to be fucking ready to rock.
Those boys better not get COVID.
Oh, God. They're on the danger list.
But
That's for
talking
sure.
about big games we got coming up, that's the next thing we got here. Hot topics. The biggest game I have coming up for this week, impact game, Ohio State versus Penn State. Every year, it's a big one. Penn State
Oh.
can never seem to get it done.
No whiteout. No whiteout.
No
It's
fans. I called in, no fans.
At,
So,
it's at Penn State.
so Penn State wins this though. We don't even have to worry about anything else with Ohio State because their shit's already done. Probably.
Well, then you have Michigan saying, oh, we're the best. And then if Michigan doesn't play Ohio State, which they'd obviously lose that game as they do with perfect fashion, then you have them 4-0 saying they belong.
Yeah.
See, it's all fucked. We're fucked.
It makes me ill. It makes me ill to think about it. But knock on wood, everything else is going fine. Just, you know what? I love you, Ohio State, Big Ten. Just get out of the way. Just move on. Let us keep our football before I lose my insanity or my sanity, and just get out of the way. And let everyone else do it because no one else cares about it. Do you think LSU cares if they get COVID? They're
Nope.
fucking wrestling alligators and fucking eating undercooked stew every day.
They don't believe in COVID.
Well,
It doesn't get the South.
yeah,
They
well,
have that air, the
the
fresh
humidity.
air.
The
Yeah.
humidity kills it immediately.
The team that I have that's going to benefit from the Big Ten shit in the bed and fucking themselves is a big game is BYU at Boise State. Whoever team wins that game is probably going to go undefeated.
I think that's next week though.
No, yeah. These games are just big games we have coming up.
Coming up. Okay.
Yeah. So that right there, the winner of that has an easy schedule throughout. So if BYU wins, they go undefeated. Are they going to the playoff? The Mormons. Are
Why
they going?
not?
They're all 28. I mean,
Oh,
they
but they
waited.
do have to go
Is
to their
that not
mission.
cheating?
Their mission normally happens in December, so they won't have a team.
no, they do. I think now they do the thing where they let them go on the mission before they start playing football.
Oh, so they're
So they're all 30. Yeah, they're all married and 30,
no.
and they all speak like Spanish or something, whatever country they went to.
I'm all about
They
the
all got
undefeated teams
kids.
making it. If you're undefeated and you played a decent schedule, let them in. Let the little guys in. I mean, that's what makes March Madness March Madness. I mean, you got to let these little guys in and don't take a 2-loss SEC team don't even touch the Big 12. The Big 12's out of this shit.
Okay, so doing what you say Boise State wins this game, and they go undefeated. You have them at 4 playing Clemson
In good
in the Rose Bowl.
In good fashion, did they? Well, let's take all pieces into consideration. If there's obviously another team that's just slaughtered their whole schedule and maybe slipped up once, that's a conversation. But if they do go undefeated and then you're like considering them or a 2-loss team, no, they won. They won all their fucking games. Reward them. And they have a number 11 ranked BYU who they don't play till next week or the week after. So they'll be probably even higher if they don't lose. Yeah, that's a great win. That's a great win. You can only do as much as your schedule gives you. And if I want to see it happen. I mean,
me too. I'm cheering for it. I want to see a small team in.
Remember when Boise State played Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl?
Ian Johnson
played
the lifetime right there.
Damien High School alumni. That was so exciting because we got to see Boise State beat up on a team. I don't know if that'll actually happen though, because that was like a meaningless bowl game. So if they're in the playoffs, maybe a different situation. But if they're playing a meaningless game like you saw in the Fiesta Bowl, they just came out and they wanted it more. That's what happens in all those kind of games. But I love to see them. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let them in. And then Clemson sleeps. They're like,
and they win.
Oh, we get a shitty fucking no-name fucking non-Power 5 conference team, and they come in and they stomp on their throat. That'd be awesome.
And then we get an 18 playoff.
Yeah, I was gonna
then they expand. They go,
Boise,
okay, we got to bump it up. We got to add these guys in.
I was gonna bring that up. So I mean, I know obviously the COVID stuff, the games, like it's all up in the air. Who's gonna play out? Like, don't they solve a little bit of that issue if they do expand the playoff by just move it from 4 to 6, or just have it go to 8? I mean,
I don't think there's any argument from a real college football fan on bringing more playoff games. I don't see why not, unless you just don't like more football.
The strategies, I mean, I think it's just really cool, and because the way that it works, and I think that's so fun about it, is you have a team that can go out and they win a huge bowl game, and then they go out and they win a championship on top of it, and then if you just add it, more teams, more big bowl games, next thing you know, you're winning all kinds of big bowl games in the same year, and that's fucking dope.
The only thing that happens with adding more playoff teams that I think of is when you add more playoff teams, then you dilute the other bowl games. I think that's what they're worried about, because now you're going to have like, number 15 versus number 16 in the Rose Bowl. Well, now the Rose Bowl sucks.
There's a lot of money tied into these bowl games.
So
long-term
and
contracts.
I agree. And I'm not saying obviously what the big ones, you got like the Fiesta Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and is that
there's one more, but I don't even know. The
Sugar Bowl.
Sugar, yeah.
And it's tied in with conferences.
So perfect. So the way that, I mean, couldn't you just make it be like, I mean, they have it now. It's like the semifinal games are like it's the Rose Bowl.
They do that.
So just make it work your way up to that.
That would be genius. I'd just have 10 playoff teams, but then
like
But the Big Ten has a contract with the Rose Bowl, so say they don't have a team that gets to that game.
Yeah, that makes
Then it's weird.
Well,
so the Rose Bowl, for that case, then they're making it so that they cannot be one of those semifinal playoff games because it might not be.
Well, what they do now is they'll say you have a college football playoff game at the Rose Bowl. They still also have the Rose Bowl. So they do have it it's all alternating.
Oh.
So they'll have we have a playoff at the Rose Bowl, and then we have a playoff game at where the Sugar Bowl's played. And then we also have still the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day and the Sugar Bowl whenever it is.
Oh.
Mario Provenzano said it best. ESPN is a cartel. They only play the games and the teams that they want to see out there.
It's like NCAA.
They push down the small teams.
It's the NCAA. The college football does that shit too.
I mean, I don't know. I just speaking of how much fun it is to watch like March Madness, wouldn't it be just like, I mean, I obviously don't know a ton. How many games do they play in an NCAA season?
12. Typically 12 with are you talking about basketball or football?
Basketball has 64 teams.
But for football,
football it's 12 to the regular season, and then if you have a conference championship, that will be 13, and then if the playoff will be 14.
So
15.
what if they cut it down to 10 and made like a longer, for those 2 weeks they did more of a tournament style play?
Because ESPN has contracted games.
Yeah,
they need their TV time.
It's
stupid.
So I mean, I'm glad that obviously not knowing a whole lot about the NCAA, it is good to know that most fans, they are looking for a restructure of the playoff format because it is weird. It is weird. Like, it doesn't set you up for any upsets.
Yeah, and if they had 16-team playoff, I'm betting every underdog.
Yeah.
You're getting a plus 800 Iowa, who went 8-4, slips in the playoff at 16, playing Clemson. Give me Iowa running the ball the whole game. Clemson hasn't played any team like them all year. Oh my god!
You give me plus 800 anything, I'm taking it. I think that's actually a rule. You just give me plus 800 where the game means something. Like the Jets could be plus 950 billion, and I wouldn't touch that. But college football, yeah, if you give me anything plus 800, I'll probably take it.
Yeah, I think it would really spice it up. I think like that's kind of we're in this little area. All these other leagues are reforming, doing weird new shit, and I think that's like the perfect time to do it. And I think they're really dropping the ball, not doing so.
Old guys run the world. Next big game we got, Florida at Georgia.
That's always a good one. Unfortunately, it's not as good this year because what's Georgia right now?
They got one loss to Texas A&M.
So they're in the top 25. I know Florida's in
Losers
the top 25.
not going to the conference championship.
Yeah, well, that's the SEC East. That's like
Yeah.
the top game every year. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. That's going to be an absolute great one. I'm interested to see because Florida looks like the real deal. Georgia, you can never sleep on them. I think the last like 5 or 6. That's another thing with the college football playoff is it's become like an oligarchy or like a monopoly. Like there's those 6 teams that they're just rotating through like Russian roulette. Like who's going to slip up, but we still have the other 6 teams to figure it out. There needs to be something within recruiting that limits your 5 stars because this is an Ohio State fan speaking.
What the
You're getting Ohio State, you're getting Clemson, you're getting Alabama, you're getting Georgia, you're getting these 5 to 6 teams that are making it or in consideration every year, and it's becoming, like I said, an oligarchy or a monopoly, whatever you want to call it. Like you're having these top teams because they're winning every year. So if you're the best guy in your position and you're getting recruited, you're like, oh, it's almost a lock that Ohio State's gonna make it. It's almost a lock Clemson's gonna make it. They're just rebuilding every year. And when you have 40 fucking 5 stars, you can't lose to an average team. I mean, yes, it happens, but it's almost impossible for some of these teams to beat 400 5 stars. I mean, they're physically more gifted than everyone else.
No, they kind of fixed it though. They're implementing a rule next year where you can transfer one time. So the guy from South Carolina, that's a 5-star from South Carolina that Saban, yeah, you're going to start, and then he goes there and rocks the bench, can now stay there 1 year, be like, I'm never going to play. I'm going to go to South Carolina.
Okay.
So
I like that.
those schools,
That's
those
kind of
guys
just like
are
you're a
going
free
to
agent every fucking year. So
but you get one call. So it's kind of
that scares me in a way because if you're the backup quarterback, that sucks. I get it. But you're an injury away from playing. You can just jump ship one time. I get it. Only one time. But jumping ship, that shit's weak. You should at least play it out. I think it should honestly be the opposite. If you go, because right now it's if you go there freshman year, you can leave after freshman year and get no punishment. If I am correct, I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
I think it should be the opposite. I think you should have to stay there 2 years, 2 to 3 years. And if you want to transfer no punishment after that, go ahead. But at least stick it out, you know?
But look at a guy like Alvin Kamara. He goes to Bama. He sits. He's never going to play. He's behind. I don't know who was there when he was there. Derrick Henry, probably.
Finished at Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, and he goes to Tennessee, balls out, NFL. He's a stud. I mean, I don't know. Those are guys we want to see in the game. I want to see that guy running the ball.
Yeah, I think I'm all right with people transferring because they go into this school and, like, you know, like you said, they're 5 stars and people fucking suck their dicks, tell them they're going to start, they're going to put up this record, they're going to do this shit, and then they get there and then they don't even play. I mean, they got absolutely swindled. And
Literally, can you imagine
That's
their
good
confidence?
vocabulary. No, yeah.
Sitting there like,
seriously,
what the fuck?
and then you're not playing.
Cheers, boys.
And it's like, oh shit, well, all these other schools are hitting me up like I could be their guy right now. And it's like, you know, sure, you got to play with the heart and you want to be there for your school and you want to, you know, kick ass and win with the school that, not drafted you, but recruited you out of high school. But at the same time, like, you're trying to get to the NFL and get some fucking money.
And sometimes these guys in recruiting, I mean, they're a straight line to their face.
Yeah.
Like they know, like, oh, we already got our quarterback.
Yeah.
But let's steal this one so he doesn't play
I
against
mean,
me.
you brought up a good point with like the monopoly of the big schools. It really is, and to an extent, they were even doing that for their backup guys. Come to my school and sit the bench, so we don't got to face you at this school. You're not as good as this guy, but we don't want to have to deal with you. You know, like it's kind of like in like any other sport. If your division rival, if they're like it's the trade deadline and they're going after the same dude that you are. You kind of have an obligation to go after that guy so that person doesn't, that team doesn't get better because you slept on this dude. And, that's what you see a lot in with these football players transferring around. I think that at this point, that's got to be the move.
Yeah, no, I completely get where you guys are coming from because you got one chance to make the NFL, and if you're not getting any playing time, you could be literally an NFL star in the making, get no PT, have no film, and not get drafted. So transferring, I'm all about it, but there's got to be, you can't just have people flying around everywhere where like you got to keep track of where the fuck did my backup quarterback just go, oh wait, he's playing for our rival.
And he has your playbook.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he just took the whole thing and
they sent him there for 1 year. Hey, go to Bama, sign, get the playbook, and then come over here.
You know how fucking Jim Harbaugh would jerk off to Ohio State's playbook? If he got fucking Ohio State's playbook, he may change the fucking whole game. He has the athletes. He just hasn't gotten it done. So you look at these kind of situations, it's all touchy here and there. But let's get to our last topic.
Yeah, last game, we have big game of the year. It's going to be Oklahoma State, the number 1 team in the Big 12, and whoever they're going to lose to, which is this week to Texas.
I'm glad he's still got confidence in Texas. That's an absolute garbage fire.
Sam Ehlinger is not a loser. You suck. He does not suck. He's God-given.
Man,
that's God-given talent.
Living through
right
the
there.
Colt McCoy era and the Vince Young era, and then
Don't make me cry.
Watching this debacle has to just be heartbreaking. I couldn't imagine.
I cannot
you know what?
fucking read a defense.
Let me put on my Cleveland Browns hat. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what it feels like. Okay, cool. We're good.
It just hurts that the guy's been there 4 years and he's had every opportunity to grow, and it's like watching somebody like reach for the next step. Oh, they're gonna get there, and they just can't
stay.
Get it. They
you know who's similar? JT Barrett, Braxton Miller. We've had guys like that. I mean,
Haskins.
No, well, Haskins.
You know a guy that could have got the next level for Ohio State? You know the guy?
We already talked.
You know the guy? Wait, do you know his name?
Burrow.
Yep, Joey Burrow. He got there.
No, dude, Haskins grew all the way throughout Ohio State. One of the greatest quarterbacks that ever went to Ohio State. Even though
second best quarterback to ever go to Ohio State, probably.
He sucks now.
Second best to Joe Burrow.
Oklahoma State will not be losing to Texas.
Joe Burrow's the best quarterback to ever go to Ohio State. How does that feel?
As Oklahoma,
he's the best quarterback to ever go to your school.
That's blasphemy. Troy Smith will shit on you. That's blasphemy.
Troy Smith, did he win a natty?
Okay, Cardale Jones won a natty. You want to talk about best quarterback?
I love Cardale Jones.
Best quarterback ever?
No, Joe Burrow.
Oh, well.
Joe Burrow.
Hey, Joe Burrow's not even going to have fucking limbs after he gets a full season through the fucking Cincinnati Bengals. That guy. Good night, Dick. Good night. That poor fella. By the way, wrong topic. Myles Garrett has a strip sack in like 5 of the fucking 7 games they played this year. But Oklahoma State will lose to Oklahoma.
Okay, and they're going to lose to Texas. Sweet. That's all we got for college football, boys. Now we're going to bounce out. Boom. Thanks for giving us a listen, bros. Smash that like button. Subscribe to never miss a podcast of the Average Bros. And with that, good night and good gambling.